All right, everyone. It is episode number 6 of Hands and Heels. It's going to be a big preview. It's the Melbourne Cup. It's the race that stops a nation. At least that's what we think. Anyway, I don't know what the Greens think about that, but anyway, we won't get into that. I know that'll make you laugh, Vince. The anti-racing, up to the cup type people. We get 3 protesters a day outside the front of the gates at Flemington at Epsom Road, and then we don't see them.
Well, maybe we ought to apply a bit
days.
of hands and heels on them, Paul. Maybe we should be chaining them up by their hands and their heels up against the gate.
You know what the problem is about that, Vince? I reckon they'd like it. That's the problem with that, I think. Episode number 6, we're here, the Melbourne Cup preview. It's the big one.
It is.
We're not going to go through every race on the Flemington program, but what we are going to do is the way we'll set this up is so it's the 7th race on the program. We're going to do a runner by runner preview, and then I'll venture off and find some best bets around the Flemington program as well. So we won't go through every race because that'll just take too long. And then we'll do my Oaks tip as well. I've got a good little bet going around in the Oaks, and then we'll get onto the Yarra Valley. What are they? The Yarra Valley Pacing Cup on Thursday. Is that right?
Yes, and Trotters Cup as well on the same day. It should be a terrific day. In fact, the Yarra Valley Harness is taking place tomorrow on Melbourne Cup Day as well. It's just a normal meeting. It's an annual trek for a lot of those people out there in the Yarra Valley.
Beautiful.
And of course, I'll have screens on to show the gallops at Flemington. But Thursday is the big day for them with their Pacing Cup and Trotters Cup days as well. We should also mention that AD is an apology for tonight.
Yeah, AD won't be in, so we're one light. But the great man, he'll be resting up because he's got the busiest day of the year for him tomorrow at work, or today anyway, for those listening now. So, big Adrian, he will be MIA tonight. But I do have his numbers for the Melbourne Cup for those wondering.
I was going to ask you that. Yep.
Yeah, I've got his numbers in order. So
okay,
let's get stuck straight into it, shall we? So. Flemington race number 7. That's where the cup is. The favourite is Vauban or Vauban, however you want to pronounce it. For Willie Mullins.
I think it's a French thing, isn't it?
It is a French name, actually. Yeah, Vauban. Is a $4.40 favourite. Interesting to note the stablemate's actually been very well backed. Absurd, which might be absurd for some punters. $26 into $9.50. So we've had a bit of a plunge here in the Melbourne Cup. Without a fight, the horse that you tipped in the Caulfield Cup, Vince, it's $6.50. Gold Trip, last year's winner, $7.50. There's been a bit of money for Salcombe. It's been $12 into $10. And that's pretty much it. Future History, 26 into 19s, and the rest are pretty much long odds, I'd have thought, in the race. So
there's also one there, number 15, that Craig Williams is riding that's coming to about $18 too.
Yeah,
on fixed odds.
Last Tochka, 26 into 18. So those are the runners in the market at the moment. We know it's always a difficult race, but we'll start with you, Vince, before we go through the runner by runner guide, because I'll provide us with the deep insight into each runner. But what did you like? I know you're probably, the Caulfield Cup winner, it's got a soft spot in your heart, obviously, but what did you like when you had a look at this race?
Paul, you know what I'm going to do for this Melbourne Cup? I'm going to tip for Melbourne Cup history to take place tomorrow.
Ooh, I like this. All right, let's hear it.
Yeah. As much as everyone's raving about this favourite and how it's, almost immoral to get up.
Yeah, a lot of people are with
It's got a lot of things going for it, let's face it. It's got a good barrier, fantastic international jockey. Impeccable form. Mind you, it's coming back off a spell. But nevertheless, I am tipping for a Melbourne Cup winning Quinella.
Right.
So I am tipping, and I just love the way both of these horses have performed so far in the lead up to the Cup. Yep. I'm referring to the 2 previous Melbourne Cup winners, Gold Trip and Vow and Declare, to come 1-2.
Wow, they've been there and
now,
done
I don't know that there's ever been a Quinella. Are you aware that there's ever been a 1-2 between 2 prior Melbourne Cup winners?
Ooh,
I wouldn't have thought so.
No, I would vouch to say I can't think of any off the top of my head. No. Speaking of which, I'm just looking at a replay here in the studios at work. Vow and Declare when it actually won the Cup We've got it up here at the moment. I still don't know how we won it.
I know.
No idea how we won it.
He got up on the rails with Craig Williams, but
I like this. A Quinella, 1 and 9.
I actually, and I think Vow and Declared, escaped being mentioned earlier. He's at 26 to 1 or $26, which is basically 25 to 1. So
correct. Can I just before you go on with that, I just need to correct people on this. When a horse is $26,
yes,
right, it's not 26 to 1. It's 25 to 1.
Correct.
I see that all the time. People say, "Oh yeah, it's $5. It's 5 to 1." No, it's 4 to 1 if it's $5.
Correct.
So,
and that's why when you see fixed odds, you'll see $51, $101, $126, because effectively you have to add the $1 because that's your initial spend.
Exactly.
You're winning $125. You get $126 back for your $1. Yeah.
Correct. And the 25 to 1 is the profit you'll get for $1.
Correct. Correct.
There you go. All right. So we've cleared that up. But you're 1 and 9. Okay.
Yeah. Now, James McDonald, as you know, I backed him in every single race on Saturday. And our regular viewers will remember me saying that I was going to back him in every single race. Well, guess which was the only race that he won on Saturday?
Yeah,
the only one that probably mattered, the Victoria Derby on Riff Rocket. So I got $2.10 on that one for my investment, but all the others came a gutser. So I was certainly down on the weekend. That's the first and last time I'll ever do that with a jockey.
Doesn't matter.
But I think he's going to make up for it, and I think I'm going for back-to-back Melbourne Cup victories for Gold Trip. I think he's going beautifully. The last run on Cox Plate Day, he was motoring home. He flashed home for 5th. It was a nose off being 4th, which is exactly where I thought he'd finish. And if that race went another 500, 600 metres, I'm sure he would have been at the front of the pack. So I think he's building up beautifully. 3rd in the Caulfield Cup, behind Without a Fight. And also his prior run was a victory in the Turnbull Stakes at 2,000 metres. So, look, I just think he is building up beautifully. He's actually got a better preparation this year than he had last year. And
to the eye,
interesting,
definitely.
Mark Zahra is off him again, and he's on Without a Fight. And now they've put James McDonald on. Well, you're not losing anything by getting J-Mac.
No, not at all. You're probably gaining,
now,
if anything.
The big query here, I know what people are going to say, is the weight, 58.5 kilograms, which is 2 kilograms more than any other horse. I hear that, but I don't think that's going to bother a horse of this quality. He was the top weight last year as well. So I don't see any reason why he can't do it again. So Gold Trip for me to beat number 9, Vow and Declare, the 2019 Melbourne Cup winner, to make it a Melbourne Cup winning Quinella.
I like it. I like
and
it.
Exacta.
What else for the exotics? Anything else in the exotics?
Exotics. I'm throwing in. Look, I just love the way this horse went in the Caulfield Cup Without a Fight. I did tip him and he did come good for me, so I've got to put him in my top 3 Without a Fight. So I haven't provided a lot of value. Probably Vow and Declare is the horse that I'm suggesting if you want value, back him each way. He'll give you a damn good sight for your money, I think. And look, down in the weights, I just don't see anything else that's sort of jumping out at me, Paul. I'm up in the top 10 horses in the field. So I'm going to throw in number 8, Right You Are, for 4th, but I am very wary of the favourite. I don't know a lot about it, so maybe you can educate me, and I should throw him in to keep him safe in my multiples.
Yeah, I think it's a fair play. I think that's definitely a fair play. All right, well, I'll give you Adrian's numbers just for those wondering. So these are AD's numbers. 6, Solcombe on top.
Yes.
Number 15, Last Tochka, number 15. Then he's got number 5, Vauban or Vauban, however you want to pronounce it, in for 3rd. Then he's got Gold Trip and Without a Fight. So 6, 15, 5, 1, and 3. And those are his numbers at the moment. So that's what AD is going with in the Melbourne Cup. So I'll start the runner-by-runner guide. So Gold Trip, he started $7.50 in the Cox Plate. He started one of the favourites in the Caulfield Cup. He's taking the exact same route as he did last year to win the Melbourne Cup as he did He's taking the exact same route as he did last year for this year with regards to Caulfield Cup, Cox Plate, and then into Melbourne Cup. So that should hold him in good stead. But yeah, I think the inside gate is a bit of a concern, as is the rock hard track. The dry weather might see him just come undone, I think.
Right.
He's going well, but yeah,
likes it a bit softer.
58.5 kilos. It just, yeah. I mean, he's won at 30-1, and he's won at 20-1 last year in this race. So 750 with the weight. I'm happy to steer clear of him. He's definitely a winning chance, definitely a top 5 chance, but I can't take the price.
Yep.
He's going so well, though. I mean, if you want to back him, you can't knock his form. The only thing
do you
I'm
think
knocking
how much do the odds reduce because of the sentimental bet? Because I have no doubt that there's a lot of money that goes on to a prior Melbourne Cup winner purely for sentimental reasons.
Not a hell of a lot. Not a hell of
No?
a lot. It would make up a minor percentage, but not enough to, I think, throw people off. I wouldn't have thought.
Right.
Yeah. If they do string out, which they can do in these Melbourne Cups, he could potentially get out off the inside, but I'm just worried about the inside gate and the really dry track. That's my only concern for him. So got him involved in the numbers, but he's not a bet for me. Alan Quer, there's a few doubts over whether or not this horse was going to run. Now, I do get the feeling that he is going to bowl out in the lead here. He went back from an outside gate in the Moonee Valley Gold Cup and ran on okay. He was only beaten 3.5, so he could be an improver at long odds. He's going to roll towards the front, I'd have thought, but he just looks outdone for me. He's a leader up in grade, which, I mean, he's not ideal, but
and going to be Damien Oliver's last ride in the Melbourne Cup, is that right?
It is. And Mike Moroney had one go around last year called a Misery at similar odds, but he can run okay, but not for me. Not for me.
So currently showing 41. Do we want to go through the odds for each one as well? Currently showing
60-1.
No? Okay.
Yeah, 60-1. So
I
think is his right price. There's no value at the price. Number 3, Without a Fight. He's absolutely flying, this horse. He's going super. He gets a little bit of a penalty for the win in the Caulfield Cup, but I don't think that'll worry him too much. The dry deck is what he wants. Again, the barrier might just be the only concern. If you can find 3 wide running line, he's been really well backed. And I actually think at this rate he could start favourite if the money keeps coming for him. It wouldn't surprise me at all. And he's got a nice base to run well. He's in my numbers. I've got him. Now,
did Mark Zara actually swap rides this time? Because last time Adrian told me that he only committed to Without a Fight as opposed to Gold Trip because the trainers of Gold Trip hadn't committed to the race yet.
Yeah, the reason I think he's gone with Without a Fight is due to the track, the good track.
Okay.
And I think that's probably the reason there. Breakup. I think he was maybe entitled to finish a little bit closer than he did in the Melbourne Cup. And he comes out of in the Caulfield Cup, and I think he comes out of some pretty handy races in Japan. And these Japanese horses just need the speed on. They need it to be run helter-skelter, but the barrier is really concerning me. So I don't think he'll measure up just from the gate. I don't think he's going to get a great run either. So he's not in my numbers. Wouldn't surprise me if he improves from the run and maybe finishes top 7, top 6, but I don't have him in there. Vauban, I've got him in my numbers. I've got him for 3rd. He's a great horse, and I love the jumpers as well. I like these hurdle horses because as a hurdle horse, you have to be zippy. To get over the hurdles, you need to have some sort of turn of foot and you need to have a press button. So if they do go slowly, he has the turn of foot, whereas sometimes a lot of these imports need the race to be run to a genuine tempo and a good, a stamina sapping run to really stretch the legs. But the inside gate might be a little bit of a concern. Now, he'll settle on the pace, but he might take 100 meters to really warm up, if that makes sense. So a lot of these horses, these English horses and these British horses, they're not often, when I say they're not barrier educated, they're not trained to ping the barriers. So the inside gate might get a little bit sticky for him. But if they do spread across and the horses drawn near his outside don't jump as cleanly, he might be able to find a spot, maybe one off the fence and maybe 4 to 5 pairs back. So you can stay off the inside and roll along. He's going to be very hard to beat, but I can't take $4.40. No way. The price is just way too short for me. I've got him in for 3rd, but I couldn't back him at $4.40. So that's Vauban. Number 6, Salcombe. He's flying, this horse. He's going absolutely brilliantly. He missed the start by 6 lengths. and that's pretty much how far he was beaten by in the Caulfield Cup. He surged up to Without a Fight and Gold Trip and West Wind Blows, but the run just took its toll, and I think it's a beautiful conditioning run now for the 3,200 metres. The Magic Man, Joe Moreira, goes on, 53.5 kilos, barrier 4, and I'm trusting Chris Waller and his stable to get this horse to jump this time. He's going to settle midfield, hopefully one off the fence, and he loves Flemington. He loves the wide expanses and long straight at Flemington, and his straight line speed is sharp for a horse over this type of distance, and I think he's a great each way.
Is this the horse that's owned by a number of footballers?
It is, yeah. It's the Punt Road Club, the Tigers boys. Yeah,
right.
So they're involved with this horse. I think he's a fantastic chance in this Melbourne Cup, and I've had a bet on him at the each way odds. So number 6 is definitely worth a play. AD likes him as well.
Yes.
Initially, when the fields came out, I was a bit. I had the asterisk and question mark on him, and I wanted to keep him neutral. And then as we got closer to the race, and as I looked through the form and had a deep dive into it properly, he just really started to stand out. And I really like him. I think he's a great bet. So yeah, number 6 for me. He's going to be one of my bigger results on the race. Number 7, the Ebor form is not odds. Too bad. Yeah, but Vauban, the last time he went head-to-head against Vauban, it was back on the 20th of June earlier this year, and Vauban absolutely smashed him, beat him by 7.5 lengths. And he meets Vauban better at the weights here, but the weight swing's not going to be enough to make up 7.5 lengths. So
no,
way too short for me. Way too short for me. Right, you are number 8. Yeah, going okay. He started long odds in the Caulfield Cup, ran on well enough, but yeah, not for me. I don't know where he gets to in the run here. I'm just not sure. He's going okay, but I couldn't have a bet on him. Not the way he's going. I just don't like the way he's hitting the line. But these connections, you just don't know. They can often get them up at good odds, but I'm risking him at the price. Vow de Clare, he's going super. He's going absolutely super. Vow de Clare. His run in the Moonee Valley Gold Cup was enormous.
It was
3 wide, no cover, and he just kept surging and surging and surging.
I noticed the horse that he came second to has been scratched, which is Cleveland, number 10.
Yeah, it's come out of the race. 53 kilos. He won't know himself with that weight again in this type of handicap condition. And very rarely do you see Melbourne Cup winners get 53 kilos. I know it's been 4 years since he won it, but and no horse has done that. But he's going super, and $26 I think is overs for a horse who's going great guns.
I agree. And I think Billy Egan is also riding really well at the moment.
Yeah, he's riding super. He's riding really well at the moment. He's going so well. So barrier 19 again is the concern, but he'll push forward. He'll try and slot in and find a spot.
Well, I think he's the value bet for me. So that's going to be my suggested bet.
I do agree. I agree with you there. 11 Ash Run. The only concern for me is that it was a bunch finish in the Geelong Cup. So I don't know if that Geelong Cup form reference is any good this year, and the market's suggesting that too. So I was against him. Wouldn't be surprised if he ran okay, maybe top 10, but I was heavily against him. Daquin Sweet Jr., BM, Brian Martin, the great Brian Martin, he's got a little share in this horse. He was the Adelaide Cup winner a couple of years ago, so he knows what the 3,200 metres is about. He's beaten 7 lengths in the Cup last year, so I think he ran 4th. I think he might have run 4th in the Melbourne Cup last year off the top of my head. He ran 6th in the Cup last year, so big effort from him. He needs a good track, and he'll get a good track.
Yes.
If you want to,
if you're looking for a real roughie, it wouldn't be the worst horse in the race to be having a little punt on.
If you want to include him in first fours, he's 5th up, 3,200 metres. If you want to include him in first fours, don't leave him out. I don't have him in my numbers, but he's not without a sniff. If you want to include him, maybe for 4th or 3rd, something like that. Nikita Sushi, he'll get beaten for speed. He can't win. Shiraz can't win. Last Kochka. This is a very intriguing run of this. 51 kilos, a 5-year-old mare. She's a French stayer, and these French horses can, they can stay longer than the in-laws, these type of runners. And there's been a little bit of specking for him, and I have to respect the form of AD. He's one of the better judges I know. I'm not just saying that because he's a close friend of mine, but he has one of the sharpest eyes you'll see. AD when it comes to these imports and these type of runners. So I have to respect it. I don't have it in my numbers. I couldn't really get a gauge on it. And barrier 21 concerns me. I didn't have it in there, but it wouldn't surprise me if she ran an absolute bottler of a race.
Did Craig Williams get off one of the other horses and onto this?
He came off Salcombe.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yep. So he came off Salcombe.
Was that his decision?
Interesting. Maybe. Might have been. Yeah, could have been. Yeah. Don't know.
Okay.
Have to respect that though, but I couldn't really get a gauge on the horse. So again, I stayed neutral on it. But it'll be a loser for me if it wins.
Okay.
Magical Lagoon, again, a horse can't win. It's 150 to 1. Mark Duplessis, 5-year-old mare. Blah, blah, blah. Finished 6th in the Geelong Cup. Tried to lead them up, but yeah. Military Mission, this will roll towards the lead. Rachel King, she'll be positive on this, but I don't like leaders up in grade, and I think the horse is outclassed. I don't think that Herbert Power form is any good. The run in the Metrop was not too bad, 5 lengths behind, just fine, but not for me. Serpentine will lead him up. John McNeil will go to the lead and probably set a good clip. 40 to 1's about its right price, I thought.
Drawn well for a horse that likes to be up on the speed. Drawn barrier 1.
Like, it could get crossed from the outside. That's the only concern. But it'll press. It'll go towards the lead. And might set a good tempo out in front. Virtuous Circle can't win. More Fallons has drawn barrier 24, so I've put a line through it. Future History's a lightweight chance. Holly Doyle gets her first Melbourne Cup ride here. She's a gun jockey over in the UK. She rides for the O'Briens. She's one of their stable jockeys. So she's a jet, but she gets to ride here for the May Eustace horse Future History, who was never there to win in the Moonee Valley Gold Cup because he was already in the Cup. And if he had won the Gold Cup, he would have got a penalty. So lightweight chance. Lightweight chance, but I had it in for 6th. Interpretation is the biggest thinker in Australia. He doesn't like going past horses, but he did in the Bendigo Cup. I don't think that's the right form. Calipore got the chocolates for me and us on Derby Day, which is great.
Yes, it was.
He's 40 to 1, and I don't think that Archer form, that race on Derby Day, the 2,500 meter race, is never really. It doesn't really hold up. And I don't think
doesn't produce that many winners.
And I'm not too sure the last time it has produced a winner, to be honest. I don't even know if it has produced.
Probably since the days it used to be called the Dalgety.
It's a long while ago.
That's going back a long time.
A long while ago. And True Marvel's 150 to 1, and it can't win. So
tell me, Paul, I mean, there's a lot of horses that you just skipped over there that you just basically saying,
they're just roadblocks, mate.
You can't win 150 to 1. Do you find that the quality of horse in this year's Cup is quite thin? Like, the top echelon is maybe the top 6 or 7, and then it really drops away quite heavily?
Yeah, it drops away, and we're going to get a good run race too. We're going to find, they'll separate the wheat from the chaff because there's no excuse. We're going to get a beautiful track. We're going to get lovely weather. And, may the best horse win. We'll get a genuine tempo in this Cup as well, and I reckon Solcombe's going to be right up to him here. He'll be storming home. And I think he's the one to be with. So 6 for me. Good each way bet on the 6. And I'll also be having a play on Vow and Declare as well. A small each way bet on Vow and Declare. So those will be my only plays in the race, but Solcombe's going to be my biggest result. And that'll be that for the Melbourne Cup. So 6, 9, 5, and 3. 6, 5, 9, and 3 for me in the Melbourne Cup. Those are going to be my numbers.
We're pretty close. I'm number 1 to beat 9, although 9 is the one I'll be backing. Each way, far better value. 1 to beat 9, 3, 5, and I threw in number 8 there for 5th, but you can throw in anything you like for 5th.
Love it. Love it.
Yeah, so 9, 1, 3, and 5.
Fantastic. All right. Now I'm just going to quickly get through some other bets on the program. I'm not going to go through every race. But we'll go to the first race at Flemington. Now, we've got a handful of first starters here. Now, this is for the 2-year-olds up the straight. So Blue Stratum and Admitted are going to battle out favouritism here for the time being. But there's a horse I like in the form of Oddinson, number 7. Race 1, number 7. Loved his jump outs. I've envisioned this race, and I think it's going to play out. So 2, 1, 4, and 5 are all going to vie for the lead. I think the 4 and 5 are going to hold them out. Blue Stratum and Katojo, number 5. Race 1, number 5.
There's one of those Carlton supporters.
This is one of those horses. We had Dool the other week. Now, this is one of those horses for Rosemont Stud. Now, they've got heaps of these horses that are named after ex-footballers, and this is another one.
Very good. I like it.
It's going to go towards the lead, as is number 4. But I think what's going to happen in this race is Blake Shin is just going to get a beautiful sit off them here. He's going to be maybe a pair or two back. He's going to peel out at the 350-meter mark. He's going to release the plugs, and he's going to let down with a devastating sprint. I've loved the way these horses jump out. I love the connections. Aussie Kerr is involved in this horse. So is John O'Neill, both who are big owners in the horse racing scene in Australia. Kieran Maher, Dave Eustace, Blake Shin is booked. I think he's a great bet, and I think he'll be winning this race. Oddinson, that's how I think it'll play out. The other race that I'm going to be launching at, I know it's a little bit short, but race 4, number 1, Barber. I absolutely love the setup here. 1,200 meters, back to 1,000, blinkers on first time, barrier 9. You want to be drawn up the middle of the straight, and he only gives away 2 kilos to a lot of these horses here, and he gives away 4 kilos to a horse down the bottom that should be 1,000,000 to 1. Now, it is a Group 1 perform. Well, the races that it's run in, if we look at the form guide, King's Gambit was going to start short and start single figures in the Coolmore. Osmosis came out and won the Coolmore. So it's run within 2 lengths and a length of Osmosis, who came in and bolted in a Group 1 3-year-old. And now this horse, Barber, comes back to a very, very, very weak 1,000-meter race. And James McDonald's just going to be smoking his pipe from barrier 9 with the blinkers for the first time. And I think this horse is going to piss in, to be honest. I can't see anything beating it. Race 4, number 1, Barber, my absolute best bet at Flemington on Cup Day. I think he's a fantastic bet in the race, and I think he's going to win. So those are my two.
I like the confidence. I like the confidence.
Yes.
All right.
And that'll do me. That will do me from a betting perspective. Now, for those who want it, do you like playing quaddies, Vince? You're a quaddie man?
I do. I like quaddies.
So I'm going to play a quaddie. So for those who like their quaddies, and then we'll get onto the harness racing because we need to get onto Yarra Valley. So in the quaddie, I'll go with, so first leg of the quaddie, it's the Melbourne Cup. So I'll go with 3, 5, 6, 9, 15, and 21. So 3, 5, 6, 9, 15, and 21 in the quaddie. And then in the second leg, in the second leg, I'm going to go 3.
Which is race 8, of course.
3, 13, and 16. So 3, 13, and 16. In the second leg, which is race 9, I'll be going with 1, 2, 3, and 6. So 1, 2, 3, and 6 in race 9, the third leg. And then in the final
leaving
leg,
out the favourite at this stage there.
I'm keeping it
Don't
out.
Like the favourite.
La Danse Rouge. I'm just a query at the distance. That's the big thing with it. And in the last race, race number 10, the last leg of the quaddie, I've got 9 in there. St. Bathans comes out of a hot trial from Benalla. Missed the start by 5 lengths first up last run. Don't worry about that. Just put a line through that run. So number 9, St. Bathans, I've got in there. Throw in the 14, Robusto. Throw in the 16, Chorlton Lane, and put the 17 in there, Ton of Grit. Now, it's 288 combinations. So to get 100%, you need to outlay $288. For 50%, you outlay $144. So play the quaddie as you will. So again, those numbers, just to reiterate, first leg, Melbourne Cup leg, 3, 5, 6, 9, 15, and 21. That's race 7. Race 8, the second leg, 3, 13, 16. That's race number 8. Race number 9, leg 3. 1, 2, 3, 6. And race 10, the last leg of the quaddie, 9, 14, 16, and 17. $288 will get you 100%. So that's Flemington done and dusted for Cup Day. And
great, Paul. Excellent. Thanks for that.
I'm going to be on Tropical Squall in the Oaks, for those wondering.
I was just going to ask you about the Oaks before we head off to the harness racing. So the Oaks on Thursday, Tropical Squall, that's number 1, the highest rated horse in the field.
Adam Hieronymus is just going to go to the front. And I just hope that Zardozi doesn't get a run. So,
well, Zardozi, I was on last Saturday, and how that horse lost that race, I do not know. But all I can say is he was ridden far too back in the field by the looks of it. All credit to the winner and the winning jockey.
Yeah.
Saw the opportunity to street ahead of them, and played catch me if you can tactics, and it was good enough to win.
Yeah, hopefully the same thing happens here with the Gay and Adrian Waterhouse and Adrian Hot Horse. Hopefully Tropical Squall can just lob to the front, skip along, and run them a merry dance on Thursday. So I'm looking forward to the Oaks. It's going to be a great day, and that'll be the third last day of the carnival. Then it's on to Champion Stakes Day. So looking forward to it. All right, let's get on to Yarra Valley Harness for Thursday before we wrap up, sir. So this is where you take precedence, Vince.
Yes, well, we haven't got any markets out yet.
No, that's okay. That's all right.
As you would expect with harness racing on a Monday night before a Thursday meeting. Nevertheless, Paul, we will quickly go through the two main races on Thursday at Yarra Valley, called the Yarra Valley Trotters Cup and the Yarra Valley Pacing Cup, which are both taking place. Hang on a second. Now, why isn't this coming up? Here we are. I've got it up. Okay, so race 6 is the De Bortley Wines Yarra Valley Trotters Cup.
Lovely.
Don't you remember who used to say De Bortley Wines? Before Paul Ambrosoli, one of the best greyhound callers of all time. He was sponsored by De Bortley Wines, I think. I think he used to have quite a few glasses of this stuff before each race.
So this is this race 6 on Thursday?
This is race 6 on Thursday. Yes, over 2,650 metres. It's a standing start for the Trotters. And for our harness racing followers, if you've got your fields in front of you, you'll notice that the first 3 horses are off the front row. The next 3 horses are off a 10-metre handicap. Then you've got 1 horse off a 20-metre handicap and a further horse right down the bottom off a 30-metre handicap, which is Olivici, which we've often spoken about during some of the major trotting races at Melton. Now, I'm actually going for number 7 here, Harry Stamper, which really, I guess, stamped his authority on a race a couple of weeks back when I think I tipped him to run third in that particular race. It was at Geelong, the McNamara Trotters Cup, but he actually won that race. And I thought it was very, very impressive the way he ran that race. Last start second at Maryborough. I think he's ready to go another level again, and I think he will win. Number 7, Harry Stamper, with James Herbertson aboard off the 20-metre handicap, to beat Olivici, number 8, off the 30. I'm going for number 2 to run third, Kai Valley Hotspur, with Chris Alford. Should have all the favours from the barrier and be hard to run down, but I do think that the 2 back markers should be able to do that. And, I mean, you can take your pick for fourth. There's quite a few horses that could come in fourth. So they're the main 3, I think, numbers 7, 8 and 2. And you can play around with quinellas, exactas, trifectas, if you like, if you want to put some bets on. But I think Harry Stamper straight out will be a good value bet.
Love it. Absolutely love it. All right, Harry Stamper for you. Let's get on to the Yarra Valley Pacing Cup. Now, we've got a horse here that has, he's divided opinion. He's probably, he has probably been more potential and more buzz than anything. And he goes by the name of Captain Ravishing.
More sizzle than sausage.
Seems that way.
Yeah, wow.
I know a very good friend of mine here at SEN, Jason Bonington, loves this horse, Captain Ravishing. But he's just when I say failed to deliver, he's failed to deliver in huge races. I remember at the start of the harness season this year, he came back. It might have even been last year, actually. He came back and he trialled up like a bomb. And he was flying, and he started favourite and short in a couple of big races, but he just hasn't quite delivered. But he gets his chance here with Nathan Jack. How did you see this play out? Because there's some pretty decent paces in this race.
If Captain Ravishing doesn't win this race, they should give it away with him because he's off the front row. He's drawn gate 4. He should go literally straight to the front.
Yep.
And the only threat to him maybe off the front row is number 7, Curly James, which is a very, very impressive last start winner. If you remember last week, I think I tipped him to come third behind Catch a Wave and Bulletproof Boy, but he actually shredded him in, and the other two weren't even in the race compared to him. So he's going impressively, Curly James, but he's drawn outside the front row, and I can't see him getting past Captain Ravishing.
Yeah.
Serge Blanco, last start winner at Swan Hill, won the Swan Hill Pacing Cup last Friday night. My best bet of the night got scratched before the race, unfortunately. Platinum Stride got scratched, but so Serge, it gave the opportunity to a horse like this to get to the front and then take the sit, and that's what he did. Came home along the sprint lane and ended up being too good for them ahead of Helliver. So it was a good win on Friday night at Swan Hill by Serge Blanco, but again, I can't see those horses being better than Captain Ravishing at his best. So I'm going to put a bit of faith in him, but that will be my tip. Number 4, Captain Ravishing to beat. Now, there's a couple here off the back row that are interesting. Max Delight hadn't won a race all year, and this is a former Victoria Cup winner. And last week, I didn't even know this, Paul. I didn't. It must have happened without me noticing much. He went up to Wagga and raced in a pretty basic race. It was only worth about $8,000. Yeah, it was like a $9,000 prize money race. I couldn't believe that he was there. Because when I saw him up on the fields here, I thought, hang on, last start winner, when did he win a race? And I had a look at it, and it was up at Wagga last Saturday night. I think.
He only just got there as well. My goodness.
He only just got there, like literally fell in. I wasn't impressed. So I think he's got a long way to go still, Max Delight. Yeah. He's drawn on the second row again here. So, you know, they say sometimes horses need to win again just to get their confidence back. I don't know. Tango Tara, last start second in the South Australian Pacing Cup behind Where's the Gold. It was a good run. So those ones off the back row, I think they'll be flying home late, but my numbers will be 4 to beat 7, 5 and 11. Max Delight, I'm still not convinced about. So
fair enough.
4 to beat 7, 5 and 11. Captain Ravishing for me.
Yeah, the only question mark I've got on Captain Ravishing is the fact that he's a bit of a gap between runs. Now, the last time he was out on track was in the Taburica, which was that great race up at Menangle, a fantastic race.
2 months ago, early September.
Yeah, and that's the only query I have. It was won by Encipher, but we're talking leap to fame form, Encipher form. That's some of the best form around the nation.
Some of the best horses in the country were in that race. And look, Captain Ravishing normally goes pretty well fresh. So I'm expecting him to win a race like this. If he can't win this, there'll have to be some major question marks over him.
Completely agree. No, completely agree.
Anyway,
all right, mate. That's us done and dusted, sir.
It is.
We are finito. So,
and by the way, can I just suggest we're going to get together again probably Friday. There's the big West Australian Cup, the WA Pacing Cup on Friday night. We have to preview that because it's going to be an absolutely sensational race with the best free-for-all horses going around in WA. So exciting meeting. They're combining it with Italian night. We should be going there ourselves, Paul. I'm wondering where our invitation is. I better ring up Richard Bell and find out why I'm not invited.
No, you can ask him. Tell him to pay for the flights as well. That'd be great. and accommodation and drinks and dinner.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah.
How's that sound?
That sounds terrific. But look, it's a great night. I have been to Gloucester Park on a WA Pacing Cup night before, and it's a fantastic atmosphere. You'll see people everywhere there on the lawns, and should be a great night's racing. So I'm looking forward to previewing that on Friday on our normal regular time slot.
Lovely. I will be at the Melbourne Cup tomorrow or today, depending on when you listen to this and when you watch this.
Yep.
I'll be with a couple of mates. So and then we've got and then I've got on-air duties, SEN. So I'll be doing the Melbourne Cup post-wrap show. The post-cup, the wrap-up for the Melbourne Cup. So I'll be doing that at 5:30.
You'll be all dressed up nicely, won't you, in the studio?
I will be all dressed up very nice. It's going to be a warm day too. So I reckon a thin jacket with the hat, and I reckon chino jeans might be the way to go. Otherwise, we'll be sweating up a storm. So we don't want anything like that to happen. But if you do see me, come say hello at the race course. I'll be there. I'm really looking forward to it. So yeah, it's going to be a big meeting, big day, race that stops the nation. Melbourne Cup Day. This is what it's all about. Episode 6, hands and heels, done and dusted. Hopefully we can find some winners. Hopefully we can make some dosh on Cup Day for the rest of the carnival. So we won't be back until Friday. So Oaks Day will be run. I like Tropical Squall in the Oaks. I think she's going to lead them a merry dance. So fingers crossed she can go all the way and hold off the fast finishing Azar Dozy. That's a wrap. We are done and dusted. Leave your tips in the comment section. Like, subscribe, the Jumper Punch page. I must admit, I had not a bit of a moment, but I thought to myself, God, what am I missing in my life? And I thought, God, the Jumper Punch and the footy.
And we also want to thank our major sponsors, Schnitz over in Northland.
Yes, we do. We do indeed. We do want to thank. I actually went and saw Gokhan last week. At Schnitz. I was in at Maya, just sorting some suits and some.
Do you have a nice feed of?
I didn't. No. I was just there. I was there for a couple of minutes. I just dropped in and thought I'd say hello. And no feed for me. No feed for me. But when the Jumper Punch returns, those schnuggets are going to get a workout. Put it that way.
I'm sure they will. Yeah, I mean, Paul, when you think about it, it's already been 6 weeks since the grand final took place. So. It's 5 weeks. Last Saturday was 5 weeks, so we're about 5.5 weeks since then, and we'll blink our eyes. It'll be Christmas, and blink them again, and it'll be February, and all of the football teams will be playing practice matches already.
Well, at the end of this month, pre-season begins for the first to 4 years, so there's no rest for the wicked, Vince. No rest for the wicked.
In the meantime, we'll try and help our viewers get a few dollars by taking note of some of our expert tips.
That'd be very nice.
I'll tell you what, we've provided some good winners so far.
Yeah, that's been good.
And by the way, that tip of ours that both of us came up with, in fact, coincidentally, last Friday night at Gloucester Park, I did suggest Al Capone for the place.
You did,
and
you did.
He gave us a nice return too. Gary Hall Jr. Rode him beautifully to come in second. We did say that. Magnificent Storm was $1.04 and $1.04.
What was the horse that Greg Sugars drove that one?
And the other one we got great value was Better Eclipse in the
I couldn't believe the Melton race.
Yeah, well, we did say that was the value bet, and he duly saluted. So yes, great result for us and our viewers. So hopefully you all got on.
Yes, hopefully we find some winners tomorrow. We're going to wrap up here again. Comment. Live chat, like and subscribe. The Jumper Punch. We'll be back very soon. The JP is going to be back very soon, but you and I will be back on Friday. Hopefully with AD. I think he's going to join us on Friday, so we'll try and figure out a time for that.
Nice to see you in the SEN studio too. By the way, I like that. That's a good look there behind you.
I don't know that way.
that way. Sports Entertainment Network.
That's the one. We
Very
do a good job here. SEN track, mate. It's going to be huge. Wall-to-wall coverage on Cup Day. So I'm looking forward to it. All right, that's a wrap. We're going to head off. I'm going to click end record, and we'll chat very soon, Vince. Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for listening. Good luck tomorrow. Gamble responsibly, of course. See you soon.